So moving on, what we need to do is get some form of reference. So we've got our reference here, but I don't like to just have them on the side and then just model blind. I like to bring these in, and we can do that using image planes. So we've got our images, which we've dragged and dropped onto our pure ref. And then what I can do, I'm going to right click and go to export. So save, export, and I want all images. And then I want to come into, I've already got it there, my radio project. And in my source images file, this is where I want to save them. So I'm going to select those there and then export, cropping, okay. And then I'm just going to hit export, and that will take those out for me. And then if I open up that file, if you just give me just one moment, 2020 projects and radio, source images, I've now got in here, you can see I've now got these PNGs individually saved out. So it's another reason why I really like that particular tool, because I can just drag, copy, and drop them on, and then I can save them out to where I need them after the fact. So I've got those orthographic views. So if I hit tap space on my Maya keyboard, I've got my top view, my front view, and my side view. So I've got a top view of the radio. So I might come in and just hit view and then come down to say image planes and import image. Now there are various different versions or different image planes that you can use. However, I personally like to use this one. And these images should all be the same size because I've got them from the same source. So I don't really have a front view that is orthographic. This is the closest one I've got. So I'll bring it in anyway, because it will still be of some use to me. Open there, and then view, image plane, image, and you'll see that it automatically takes me to this my source images file as well, because we've created our project. And then I've got my side view. So now I've got these in place. They should all come in here, and they should all be perfectly central here. Now you want to make sure that they all line up, basically. So at the moment you can see that front one, the scale is completely off, but I'm going to enlarge them all initially, and you can use real world scale absolutely and make sure that it's correct. I'm just going to make it larger by eye for now. I can sort of scale it later. You want to work in real world scale wherever possible, because things when you do like beveling and that kind of thing will use real world sort of values, and it'll be oversensitive if you're not working to the right sort of size. So anyway, we've got this here. Now my top view and side view look like they match up perfectly. So anyway, so it's slightly off perhaps. So maybe that needs to sort of nudge over a little bit, but generally speaking, it's close enough. That will give us an idea. And what I do as well is I'll just push these back, and I'll push that down, and then I can push that to the side. But before I do, what I will do is just make sure that this is sort of central. So you can see that the scale at the moment is a bit not quite big enough. So I want to match that up, and what I could have done really is done this in Photoshop first, which may have been a little easier. I can move my pivot point as well. So I'm going to move my pivot point holding down D to this area. And then I can expand that out, which will give me a closer or better control, rather, is what I'm trying to look for, I guess. So I'm going to click off, see how close that is. It's relatively close. I can zoom in and try and get it spot on. Hold on D, just move that over a little. And expand that out just a smidge more. So then we've got that, which kind of matches there. And then we can bring this one back in and see. And then this one's the one that's the kind of a bit of the anomaly, because it's not an orthographic. So I'm not going to worry too much about this one. Because if I expand that out to there, move that down, that matches pretty well, like so. So we've now essentially got like a cross-reference, if you like, of our radio, and I want to match that up as best I can sort of here. And then I'll push that back, push that over there, and push that down. Now, some people will use these image planes and have them constantly visible. I personally don't like it. So I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to come into my channel box and layer editor, and I will create a new layer, double click, and just label this my reference. Save, and then I can double click to make it a reference here so I can't accidentally select it, but then I can also just turn the visibility off there. The issue is if I do my visibility there, it also takes the visibility away from these, which is not what you want. So what I will do is I'll come over to my perspective view and I'll come over to show, and then let's just tear that off for a moment. And then I'll come down to where it says hide or my image planes. Alt-4 is a shortcut, but tick that off, and then it just hides them in the one view and keeps them in the others. So I want to keep them in this, but not there. And then that's done. You can see that these are my image plane cameras that I've brought in as well, and I don't particularly want to see those either. So I will come in, show, and cameras as well, and that will hide those. So now I've got my perspective view nice and clean for me to work with, basically. And that is how I would set that up. Now you may find as well when you're modeling that these are a little bit too strong. So what you can also do is select your image planes and then come into where you've got alpha gain and then maybe 0.5 and just take those down a notch just to make it a little bit easier for you to see your geometry as you work. And then I'll just turn those into a reference again, and job done. We're ready to start creating.